The moon hung high above Umuagu village. Its pale light stretched across the quiet footpath as every hut slowly fell into silence. Dogs curled beside dying cooking fires. Children slept peacefully after a day filled with laughter and full stomachs. Even the wind seemed to move carefully through the village. But hidden beneath the darkness, 4 men walked without making a sound. Okoro led the way. Behind him followed Bala, Okezi, and Dogo. Each carried only what was necessary: a short knife, a rope, and a small sack. "This way," Okoro whispered. "The old woman's hut is just ahead." They moved from shadow to shadow until Mama Nkem's tiny compound came into view. A single oil lamp flickered faintly inside. Okoro raised his hand. "Wait." The 4 men crouched behind a thick mango tree. They watched the hut for several moments. Nothing moved. Satisfied, Okoro smiled. "She's asleep." Inside the hut, Mama Nkem slept peacefully on her woven mat. Beside her, the magical calabash rested on its wooden stool. Its golden glow was softer than usual, almost as if it too had gone to sleep. Outside, Bala carefully stepped toward the window. He pressed one eye against a narrow gap in the wall. "There it is," he whispered, "the glowing pot." Greed flashed across every face. Dogo quietly removed a small iron tool from his belt. "I'll lift the wooden latch. No noise, no mistakes." As he reached for the door, a sudden gust of wind swept through the compound. The oil lamp inside the hut flickered violently. The glowing symbols on the calabash began moving faster. Inside the sacred forest, far beyond the village, the ancient baobab tree awakened. Golden roots pulsed beneath the earth. The guardian slowly opened her eyes. "They have come." She placed her hand upon the trunk. The forest answered. Owls took flight. Leaves swirled into the air. The wind carried a warning toward Umuagu. Back at the hut, the thieves froze. "Did you hear that?" Bala whispered. "It was only the wind," Okoro replied. "Keep moving." Dogo slowly lifted the wooden latch. The door creaked open. All 4 men slipped inside. The room was dimly lit by the calabash's golden glow. For a brief moment, they stood in silence. The beauty of the magical vessel left them speechless. Golden symbols flowed across its surface like living rivers. Tiny sparks floated gently into the air. "It's beautiful," Okeji whispered. "It will soon belong to us," Okoro answered. Mama Nkem stirred in her sleep. The men froze. She turned onto her side, then became still once more. Okoro exhaled quietly. "Take it." Bala reached toward the calabash. The instant his fingers touched its surface, a burst of brilliant golden light exploded throughout the hut. The thieves were thrown backward. The wooden walls shook. Outside, birds erupted from nearby trees. Mama Nkem woke with a start. "What is happening?" She looked toward the glowing calabash. 4 terrified men scrambled to their feet. Okoro covered his face from the blinding light. "Grab it!" he shouted. Dogo lunged forward. Again, he reached for the calabash. This time, the glowing symbols spun rapidly around its surface. A deep voice echoed through the room. "A gift born from kindness cannot be stolen by greed." The thieves looked around in horror. "Who said that?" Bala cried. No one answered. Instead, the hut filled with swirling golden mist. The walls seemed to disappear. For a heartbeat, the thieves no longer stood inside Mama Nkem's home. They found themselves standing beneath the enormous sacred baobab tree. Its glowing branches stretched across the night sky. Before them stood the guardian. Her golden robes shimmered like sunlight. Her eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. You seek power, but your hearts seek only yourselves. The thieves trembled. Even Okoro struggled to speak. We only wanted, you wanted what was never yours. The guardian raised one hand. Golden vines burst from the earth. They wrapped gently around the thieves' feet, not to harm them, only to keep them from running. Mama Nkem suddenly appeared beside the guardian, still holding the glowing calabash. She looked confused. I don't understand. The guardian smiled kindly. The calabash protects itself. It answers only to a heart that gives before it takes. Okoro fell to his knees. His pride battled his fear. You don't know what it's like. I've spent my whole life chasing wealth, and still, it was never enough. The guardian stepped closer. Because greed is a hunger that no magic can satisfy. Silence filled the sacred clearing. Even the glowing butterflies seemed to pause. The guardian looked at each thief in turn. You still have a choice. You may leave this place carrying the weight of your greed, or you may leave with something far greater. Okoro slowly lowered his head. For the first time in many years, he felt ashamed. But before he could answer, the sacred baobab began to shake. Its glowing roots cracked open the earth. A deep roar echoed through the enchanted forest. The guardian's expression changed instantly. No, it cannot be. The golden light surrounding the calabash flickered. Dark smoke began rising from beneath the ancient tree. Something old, something powerful, something long imprisoned was beginning to awaken. The guardian whispered in disbelief. The seal has been broken. The entire forest trembled, and far beneath the roots of the sacred baobab, two enormous glowing eyes slowly opened.